As I mentioned at the start, you may have seen the trophy that we handed out, and that's got the details about the ban on women's football of 100 years ago and the lifting of the ban 50 years ago. What's your sort of thought on how that can have been in place for so long, and a 50-year ban? What's your sort of thoughts on what went on?
I think society has changed. Previously to that, it's anybody's guess why there was 50 years of non-women in football. Football has always been what seemed to be a male-dominated sport. Barriers have been broken down recently. Again, money dictates a lot of things. So if your teams are funded at the top level, hopefully by their senior men's sides. Why there was even a ban in the first place? That's the question not to be asked. Not worried about the 50 years in between that. Why was there a ban in general?
Right.
But again, society has changed ever since 100 years ago to where we are currently now. Am I best placed to say why there was a ban? If I was living 100 years ago, I might be best placed for that. But as we've seen in any walk of life, things have changed, things have evolved. So all we can hope for is that it's just past, that's history. Never forget your history, because that's where you come from. Celebrate it, because we've taken massive strides within the women's game, massive strides. And I hope that we continue to make those massive strides, and we get everybody on board. But whether or not I'm best placed to know why the ban was there and what we've done in that 50 years, I'm not too sure.
So do you feel that in the time that you've been working in the game that attitudes are changing? I mean, do you find that you're around your own club that people are a lot more positive towards the women's game as well?
100%. You know, a lot of coaches, we all used to be players, and that's how we've got into the coaching role. And as a player, I saw a lot of changes go through. When I started playing, there was no such thing as girls' teams really. I started in the boys' team, which in a way, that's probably got me to where I got to in my playing career, which is not necessarily negative. But the girls that are coming through now, at that age, have got so many more opportunities, and that is real credit to the women that have played throughout those years to show them that they can play. And it's the support from the club, support from a club like Grays Athletic. It has been fantastic to allow us to step in as their women's team. We see it as a great credit and a great privilege to be able to say that we are, the Grays Athletic women's team now. We're going to represent them as best that we can. And girls growing up now, they can really seriously say, I'd like to be a football player when I grow up. Whereas a lot of girls in those previous years couldn't say that. And it's credit to those women that have played throughout these years that have allowed the girls to be where they are today.
Absolutely. Do you think being a community-owned club plays a part in the development of the women's teams as well? Is that something that's been important?
It gives you a sense of belonging. Being a community-owned club, it makes you feel a part of something. We're not rags to riches club. We haven't got bundles of cash, both men and it doesn't feel we're down. But the support is, I believe, is better than somebody that's got lots of money. That you're just one of a vast amount of teams. It's not often that you can talk to the chairman. It's not often you can talk to the secretary, the kit man, the men's first team manager. There's a belonging, and that is probably something to do with probably the non-league game rather than the higher up you go. Being fans owned. You see the fans. They love their club. They believe in their club. It's not often you can interact with the players. You can interact with senior management. Fans owned. It makes you believe that you've got something to be a part of.
And do you think the women in your teams feel that too? Is that something that they say to you, that they do feel as part of something so much bigger?
Yes, definitely, because like you say, like Andrew said, there's no sort of, oh no, you can't go and talk to this person, you can't have a discussion with them about something that you want to talk about. There's no barriers at all, Grays, and we think that in a way, there's a feeling around the club that when we go out onto the pitch and we play as a team, the supporters behind the barriers are working as a team just as hard to get us onto that pitch. Without the supporters, without the community involvement, we don't get to play. And that is a great connection that a club like Grays have, that many clubs will never have that experience. So we feel very, very grateful that we're in the position that we are actually.